Hey YouTube, it's been a while. So this is going to be definitely probably a longer video. Definitely, probably. It will most likely be a longer video because I'm just gonna ramble and just kind of talk. So there's your warning right there. So as you can see, I haven't really uploaded anything or streamed at all for about a month now, if I am correct. A couple reasons for that. And I think to really understand that, I kind of have to go back, talk about kind of my past a little bit to get you all caught up to kind of what's going on right now. So, and I apologize for the lighting. I'm in the living room of my apartment because there's better audio, but also shittier lighting. So, I guess take your pick. I thought I'd mix it up a bit because I thought about sitting down to record this, but I was like, I kind of want to like walk around, make this kind of a thing with some of my talking videos. So here we are. So, how far back do I want to go? I'll just say this. I kind of embraced a very neutral kind of state of mind at an early age because I thought it'd be helpful later in life if I gave up being expressive and emotional. I'd be less happy, but also would be less sad. And not that I had necessarily a traumatic childhood, but it was very kind of chaotic. My mom was always moving around. We move around every couple of years, it seems like. And so I kind of had to I wasn't able to form kind of deep bonds with anyone on a friendship level. I just kind of thought that putting that guard up would help. And that's backfired for sure later on. And that kind of leads into wanting to join the military because that kind of goes hand in hand with kind of like a military mindset of being serious all the time. And I guess at an earlier age, it also made me seem more mature in a way. And so, I thought it was a good thing for a long time. I would avoid things and it would make me happy because I was afraid of getting caught up in the moment of being happy, that as soon as I wasn't that happy or something bad happened to make me sad or worried or anxious, it would be a more dramatic change than what I would be comfortable with. And so for the longest time, I kind of suppressed all that positive stuff and also tried to suppress the negative stuff, but it eventually crept in, and that led to some very toxic thinking. Speaking of mindsets, I also kind of adopted a long-term mindset, which kind of goes hand in hand, I guess, with learning survival and learning that kind of thing. Which also, that too, let's talk about that. So, I kind of got caught up in the hype of the 2012 or 2012? Yeah. 2012 doomsday craze, whatever you want to call it, at a young age, because I think I was I would have been I don't know, I was a young teen, 13 or 14 at the time, maybe a little younger than that. So I got caught up in that craze. That's where I got into survival, and I learned all that kind of stuff, doing everything yourself, relying on yourself, and I kind of adopting the whole just disregard of the people unless you really know them and can trust them, which again, moving around a lot, not being able to make friends, kind of maybe not accept or trust anyone until I found Alex, actually. We'll get to that a little bit later. But over time, that kind of fear and anxiety about that kind of thing, especially after it was supposed to happen, kind of went into the survival thing, and then kind of chilled down to camping and backpacking. And now I've gotten rid of almost all that stuff. At one time I thought I'd be able to live in the woods and make a living, off the land eventually and live peacefully and happily by myself, but that was just such naive thinking, and honestly not even really medically possible with my diabetes. And so like I said, nowadays it was more of just a hobby of camping or whatever, but since I don't have any woods around me anymore, I could go to my dad's house, but it's 3 hours away. I could go to a state park, but they have limits of what you can do. And like I said, I kind of got rid of that mindset of being on my own, trying to live off the land kind of thing. There's really no use for most of that stuff. So I've gotten rid of it and kind of moved on. And I forget where I started this from. I guess that would lead on to Alex. So I met him in middle school when my mom moved to a different city yet again. It's actually the second time I changed schools, and luckily that was the last time. I would have had to have changed schools again in high school, but I was able to drive myself at the time. Or actually, no, I was close to driving age, so we just kind of like slept through it. Anyway, he was just kind of person, you probably picked up on this, that is just stubborn about getting to know people. As long as it's not like an obvious thing of you're pissing him off kind of thing. And so he kind of like is like the first person, maybe not the first person, but definitely the most stubborn person about trying to get to know me and I guess become my friend, if you're gonna put it like that. And it was the first time I was kind of like, okay, this is different. I guess to make that story a bit shorter, you see how it worked out. We became close friends. We've hung out since middle school. When we were in school together, we hung out like every day, even sometimes on the weekends when we didn't have school. We were just hanging out to have fun. Oh, see, where does that lead to? We definitely shared similarities in our thinking, and also he opened my mind up to other things. And now going back to what I was talking about before, that whole survival thing led to long-term mindset, which at the time, and still is, helpful in some regards, in that events that are like months into the future don't feel that far away to me. Days pass in like hours, a week can pass in like a couple of days in my mind. So let's say something's like 2 months away, I'm like, okay, that's like a week. That's not actually how it works, that's just how it feels in my mind. So waiting for something isn't that big of a deal. And also like getting through a work day is not that bad, it kind of just like blows over, more or less. But the problem with that mindset is that I've learned it takes so much value away from living in the moment. Like I can look forward to a vacation where I know I'm going to be, let's say, playing games or watching a stream or having a party or whatever. Leading up to that, it seems like no time. But then when I'm in the moment, it just kind of passes and I can't really enjoy it. It's become frustrating trying to balance the two, because it's like I said, they both have like a long-term mentality. Thinking like that has its purpose, and it's just kind of hard finding a balance, because I want to be able to live in the moment more, enjoy happy times when they're here, not having to look forward to them and just have them pass by in seconds. But back to Alex. Like I said, it's going to be a very kind of jump around kind of talking, because we usually like to write this stuff down so I have a structured flow, but since I want to walk around and I kind of talk freely, we ain't got that. So hopefully I remember everything. If not, I could probably add it back in later. Math is already getting dry. That's great. It's been about 10 minutes. Okay, all right, cool. Yeah, you can tell I haven't talked in a long time. I should say for a long time, in a long time. Alex, what about, yes, where was I in that storyline? So up to that point, I was still under the very serious mindset, not showing emotion, even though I learned I was, actually no, I think it was, not too long after I met Alex, not become friends, but soon after I met him, I discovered I got diabetes, which affected my ability to get into the military, which is something I had been wanting to do since I was young, because I had family members in the military. I thought it was like a good career path for my mindset and things I enjoyed, but obviously that didn't work out. So even though I learned I wasn't able to get in, I kind of still kept the mindset, because it was like something I had adjusted to already, and I was like, there's no harm in this. Again, I found out later that there kind of is. And so like I said, Alex kind of showed me a lot of things, new things just to experience, and some of that was just like content creators on YouTube or whatever. I think he showed me like Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, and the Vanoss crew. So you got Vanoss, Nogla, Terrorizer, all of them. And this is where we go to like all the connections. So we watch those people all the time. Even when I'm just home by myself, I would watch them. And the almighty YouTube algorithm did its magic. Because in that group you got Terrorizer, whose friend is Tom Syndicate, and his ex-girlfriend is Pedalass, or Caitlin Witcher, which I discovered in college. Yes. Partially because of a viral video that I found her, but also, again, because of those connections and the YouTube algorithm. I mean, she was great. I've actually watched, or I had watched all of her videos. I found her videos really nice. Personality was really cool. She had a good like flow to her videos. Does that make sense? Soon discovered she had Twitch. I streamed on there. Let me explain something. So with diabetes, you gotta check your blood sugar at least a couple of times a day. When something like that becomes a part of your life, it's not something you easily forget. Maybe, okay, it's understandable you forget maybe here or there when you're first learning you're supposed to do it. If you've done it for years, it's kind of an embedded thing. And as somebody who's very detail oriented and has a pretty strong memory, I don't really forget kind of thing. But it happened to be one day watching, pretty sure it was one of her videos. I was eating something and I forgot to check my sugar. Partially because I was just so happy in the moment of enjoying her content and, being immersed in the video, I just forgot to check. You might see it as a minor thing, but as I just explained, pretty big deal for me personally. I remember distinctly stopping the video, stopping eating, and just sat there for a moment thinking, what just happened? And so I was like, there's something more to this. It's kind of hard to explain. It's like I guess kind of like this mentality and this lifestyle is changeable. It's breakable. I can change it myself. I mean, obviously, I know I could always do that, but I just thought that something that was that embedded in myself and my behavior and my thinking would take an incredible amount of discipline and willpower to change it, and it just happened to happen in that one moment. And so from there, I tried to build on that. I tried to change it more gradually because I knew that one instance wasn't going to last forever, and I couldn't always repeat that. And that's when I really considered trying to change that about myself. Go back to YouTube, and I guess actually Twitch more this time, because Caitlin Witcher, I'll just call her Kate, got me interested in Skyrim, and she was streaming it one day, I think. Or no, she doesn't stream it. She didn't stream it back then. But I wanted to watch some Skyrim because she only has a couple of videos on it. She wasn't live on Twitch. I was like, fuck it. I'll go to the Skyrim streams because that's a pretty decently popular game on Twitch. I looked for new people that were playing it. I found two, or I actually found three. One I stopped watching after a little bit, and the other one eventually stopped playing Skyrim. I left one. Her name's Hannah's. She was pretty similar, I would say, in that she doesn't have any YouTube videos or any YouTube archives or anything like that. But just her streams were just fun, interesting. She only played Skyrim and Apex at the time, which is also where I found my love for Apex from her, which is kind of funny to me. But yeah, I like watching her content, interacting with chat. I had a lot of experience on Twitch and other streaming sites, so it was kind of building on that, and I really like that. And I remember during one of her streams, it had to have been late 2020. I don't know how late. It had to have been after December 4th. But someone mentioned a clip of Ollie from Hollow Live. They didn't use the name or the company name, but they mentioned the clip itself and it was about. I don't think that's important. Just saying that clip was mentioned. I was like, oh, that sounds kind of cool. I'll look into it. Found the clip. And again, the YouTube algorithm takes off. I started seeing more HoloLive clips and streams and streamers from HoloLive in my YouTube recommendations, and I checked a few out here and there. They were alright. Of course, the E-Engine 1 Myth, which I love, already debuted at the time. I say it had to be after December 4th because that's when Ollie debuted. And they were talking about a clip of her, so, obviously. And so I checked out a few of their streams, like I said. Nothing really too interesting. There was a couple of Skyrim streams I looked into, naturally. Some other random ones, I think probably some chatting ones. Some other one-off games, because none of them in Myth played Apex, I think, except Ame. I don't know if I found those streams yet. But then came Callie's birthday, April 4th, 2021 would have been. It was a Sunday. I didn't have work that Sunday. It was a scheduled stream for that afternoon. I was like, fuck it. Nothing else to do because I, yet again, at that time, run out of good YouTube content to watch. Happens occasionally. So I was like, I'll watch it. It's like something just clicked that day. And it's like my entire, like everything I've been talking about, like my emotionlessness, my apathy, my just like wall that I put up in front of everyone and everything, my anxiety, all that kind of stuff just broke down. People often looked at me and when I had a serious face and be intimidated by it because I never smiled, never really like broke a straight face because again, having no emotion. But during that stream, I couldn't stop smiling, and I still can't stop smiling to this day because that stream just made me so happy. It was just so amazing. Like the community was awesome. She was a fantastic streamer. You could tell it's kind of natural for her. Pretty sure there was some singing in that stream, which was good music. And I was like, it was kind of like that one time that I forgot to check my sugar rate. Well, it was like a moment I just stopped and I was like, what is happening? This is amazing. And so I looked more into Myth and other streamers in that group, and I looked up more streams, saw more streams of Callie. Really liked it. Sorry, I moved the camera on that one. Really liked everything, and I was like, this is the future. This is how I'm going to change myself for the better. And I would say it did. I've gotten more comfortable with myself and, being more emotional and accepting certain things. Still working on that long-term mentality thinking. I think I'm getting better. But it's great, honestly. Kind of the downside of that, if you want to look at it like that, is that I just want to watch their streams. They're just so fun. Like I said, like it made me feel happy, interacting live with everyone and enjoying everything in the moment. Like I think it being a live stream really helps with living in the moment because it doesn't compare to like a VOD. They exist. Sometimes you have to watch them because you can't catch the stream live, but it really kind of forces you to pay attention more because you know that it's live. And especially after I witnessed their first year anniversary, I was like, I often, like I said, run out of YouTube content, and I was like, this is my YouTube content for the future. And that's kind of even true today. I watch all of Callie's streams. There's a couple times I didn't watch it, like Elden Ring or Bloodborne I didn't watch because I'm just not a fan of those kinds of games. I watch most of Ina's streams. I would say a solid 80 to 90%. I watch a little over half of Gura's streams. I watch less than half of Ambe streams, and I don't watch any of Kiara's streams because, for one, they're never in the afternoon my time. They're always in the morning, so I have to be off of work to watch them. Number two, she streams for like at least 6 to 7 hours, which is just insane. And three, she just doesn't really play any games I like. She just mostly plays JRPGs, which is fine. So love her energy, and when she does certain streams like Minecraft, I'll tune in. Collabs, of course. But yeah, that's just kind of eating up my time when I'm not working or sleeping. Is I want to watch streams, or I want to watch a stream I missed because I was at work or asleep. And I kind of thought that those 5 main streamers, like I said, mainly it's more like 3.5. Technically, if you want to put like percentages together, streamers is just kind of like the max I can do. Like, because I try watching Kiara streams, all of Kiara streams, and like all of Myth streams. Do not have enough time. And once I got down to, like I said, those percentages are like all of Callie, most Ina and Gura, some of Ame. I was like, that's kind of like the perfect balance. Like, I tried watching other people, like maybe some of the JP members or ID members at the time, and then Council debuted and Iris debuted. I wanted to watch some of their stuff, but again, I thought like I was kind of at my threshold. I still wanted some of my own personal time to do content creation, and so I was like, I tried watching other people. I was like, nope, not really feeling it. Sticking with Myth. And then ID Gen 3 debuted, and I like watching Zeta. She's just really fun. Something about her is just, it just makes me so happy. Like, I like watching her content. She's become almost like Ina in a way that I watch most of her content, which is fun. The ID community I can't really interact with as much because again I don't really speak Indonesian. Don't really know a lot of the memes and the history of that branch. But I still like her streams. I still want to watch them. But that's even more time devoted to not doing content creation on my own. And speaking of content creation on my own, let's go back to that history as well. So, my first YouTube video was I like mentioning this fact, I'm gonna put it in every time I can. First YouTube video on my first channel was actually a project for the assignment I had in college. Alex had a YouTube channel. We had his current one, jhobby187. He wanted me to start my own so we could make videos or whatever. So that plus the push to make a YouTube video or some kind of social media video for that assignment in college, I did that. From there, I did more outdoorsy videos, and I slowly turned into a gaming channel. And I slowly went from raw video uploads to edited video uploads. That was during college. So we would hang out, or we would game virtually on the weekends, and then during the week, I'd wake up early. If I had to work at 6 o'clock in the morning, I'd wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, edit for 2 hours, 2.5 hours, while I eat breakfast and drink coffee. And that was my week. If I had to go into class at 8 but didn't have work in the morning, I'd wake up at 5. It was always 3 hours early for what I had to do that day. And if I had time in the afternoon, I didn't have anything to watch on YouTube, again, that was the time where I didn't have a lot of content. I would also edit. So I did a lot of editing, a lot of uploads, got about 23 subscribers for that channel. And then it got to the point where I was like, my quality stopped up quite a bit. I want to rebrand. And that's when I started the Alpine channel. It was all going to be all good quality content, edited, stuff like that. I slowly turned into a stream archive channel after I started streaming on Twitch 2 years ago on my birthday, I think. 2020, I'm pretty sure 2020? Yeah, because this year was my 2-year anniversary. And then Alpine Tech started because I wanted to do a tech channel with my tech stuff, because I like tech, which is also its own evolving story of how I used to hate tech and everything technologically related. And then me and Alex, like I said, started gaming, because he went off to do the military and I was in college, and we didn't have our Xboxes anymore, so we got laptops, and my laptop was so shitty I wanted to get an upgrade, and I thought desktop is the way. It's cheaper to build it yourself. And once I got my first PC, I was like, oh my god, this is great. I want to buy all the parts now. Get the maximum upgrade you can, and that's where I'm at today. Cool. Figure out where I was going with that. Oh yeah, the tech channel. So I guess that's kind of where we're at today for this video. Because I have many ideas. I have an entire list, a Google Docs sheet of video ideas for my now old gaming channel, which has become a variety channel, and my tech channel. I've also thought about moving back to YouTube for streaming, because that's a thing now. I mean, it's not always been a thing, but it's become a more popular thing. I've seen a lot of big Twitch streamers move to YouTube. All of Hello Live, mostly streamers on YouTube. From a viewer standpoint, YouTube is definitely better, I think. You get, as long as you have premium, you get no ads, even for watching new people. For the longest time, YouTube had subscriber-only streams, or members-only streams, I should say. But I think I've started seeing that now on Twitch, which is interesting. YouTube is simpler. It's definitely easier for some people that have been used to the way YouTube is more of a video site versus Twitch. And also, YouTube saves your archives indefinitely, whereas Twitch deletes them after a certain amount of time, which is dumb. And also, I think personally, Twitch is very much more memeier. It's like everything's a meme on that site, whereas YouTube is a bit more chill. And like I said, since I spend a lot of time on YouTube nowadays, either watching streams or watching videos of streams or just other videos, mostly tech videos from like Lennox Tech Tips, I want to go back to YouTube for streaming. That way I can also build my, that would also make it easier to build up one channel instead of trying to build up a Twitch channel to get an affiliate or partner and then have them come over to YouTube to watch VODs or comment or whatever and build that up. I thought it'd be easier to just make everything on YouTube. Even though from a streamer standpoint, Twitch is a bit better still because you can do things like play music live, even though you can't save it to the VOD. You can at least play it live and have it not save to the VOD like I do. Whereas with Twitch, it'll actively search the live stream for DMCAs and can potentially strike or delete this. I don't know if it deletes the stream while you're live, but it can certainly get real messy. Also, Twitch has more integrations with other software like OBS and certain games. Besides that, though, but that's kind of where I'm at. This kind of reminds me of my rant video I did about wanting to stop consuming so much and just create. But that video was more in the mindset of I was so exhausted from my job, and this is I think it might have been right before I discovered Hollow Live. So I was still kind of miserable, coming home tired, watching maybe a Twitch stream or two and a couple of YouTube videos, and then being so tired I just want to keep watching these videos, and it's time to go to bed. Whereas now, I'm happy, I am energetic watching streams. I want to be there interacting with other people, but at the same time, if I do that, I don't have any time to make videos or streams or content for myself, like this right now. And you'd be surprised how much time streams take up, watching them. Since my last video, which is also my last stream, there's been one time I was fully caught up on all the stream VODs. One time. And even at that point, it was for an afternoon, which I ended up kind of just playing video games on my own, not really wanting to stream it. The other thing too, that also means I wasn't gaming at all during that time. And it's just such a hard balance because it's okay, I can watch less, and I have become a bit more picky with the streams I watch. And if I see a stream that is a new game I've never heard of, I'll give it a shot. And if I know I don't want to see anymore, I can just stop watching a stream, not watch any more about it, give myself more time. But then another stream pops up of somebody else, usually that I don't watch, or is a gorilla stream, or it's watching a stream from the other day I missed. So it's on one hand I can be more picky with my streams and watch less, but then I'm interacting less with the community that I want to interact with more, because going back to not having a lot of friends because of the way I grew up in my childhood, physical friends are much harder to try to keep than online friends. There's certain issues with that, yes, but at this point it's kind of, I think, the way to go, if that makes sense. But then on the other hand, I want to watch more streams to understand more of what's going on and being able to interact more with other people and other fandoms and stuff. It's just a matter of too much to do and not enough time. Because of course I gotta still have a job, which I'm in the process of trying to actually get a new one, because I've been with my current job for almost 6 years now. It's only my second job. I've gotten decent status, okay pay, but in order to get much more out of that job, I'd have to put in more time and effort than I really want to, or that I really can, considering what I've been talking about. I gotta sleep. That's a thing. Like I said, I want to keep watching streams. It makes me happy. It gives me, I don't want to say it gives me a purpose to live, and that seems kind of dark, but it's a night and day difference. Even when I know I'm missing a stream that I don't want to watch, it's what else is going on? What else am I missing that I'm probably not experiencing right now? And you can probably tell with all my schedule changes, trying to balance streaming and watching streams. It keeps going back and forth in my mind of okay, I can only stream myself when I'm done watching other streams. Well, I just told you that in the past month, I've had one time, besides now, I'm also caught up right now, which is why I'm making this video. There's been one time in the past month I've had free time to be able to stream without having any streams to catch up on myself. That's probably a bit extreme, a bit low on average, but it just happened to be how it worked out this past month. And I was like, okay, I could try to make it to where I stream a certain amount of time, even if I know I have streams to catch up on, because then I know that at 30 minutes or 45 minutes, that's it. That stream's done, over. I go back to watching other streams. Well, the problem with that is I'm delaying catching up by that amount of time, and I just don't think it feels genuine to you guys. For one, knowing that, okay, in like 15 minutes he's going to be done, usually, or whatever. It kind of feels rushed, in my opinion. Like, I'm not the one watching it, but I can probably put off that energy of like, okay, he's trying to like hurry it up. I try to get that last game in before the timer runs out, so he doesn't have to go over. It's kind of like oh, here we go, another 45 minutes of whatever. Because I can't get warmed up in Apex in 30 or 45 minutes. Most people can't. I'm just playing it for fun, but there's a balance there for what's that worth. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Mouth is real dry. I'm trying to enunciate my words. But yeah, so that's, like I said, trying to find that balance. And so I'm back to trying to see how I can balance it. And I genuinely don't know. Right now, the job thing is just bothering me so much because I just want to quit my current job, but I really should find a different job before I quit. I've sold, like I said, so many of my old camping gear, not just because I want to get rid of it, but also because I needed the money. And now I'm considering selling a lot of my tech stuff, which most I don't need or even want personally, as in I don't want it in my main rig because I think my main rig is already like top notch right now. I don't really need a 2060 when I have a 3090 Ti. But I want to keep that tech and that's hardware for making tech videos. I really wanted to do like a all CPU GPU combination of like, okay, what's the 5800X with a 2060 versus a 5600G or a 2700X with a 3080 or something like that. Because it just interests me. If I don't keep those parts, I can't do those videos. But if I end up being in financial trouble, it doesn't help anything. And again, it's not like I expect those videos to do great view-wise. It's just something it's fun. It's tech-related. I want to do it. But for one, it's also about finding the time to make that video, because a video like that would take an insane amount of time. I just don't know. And that's kind of where I'm at. And kind of what I wanted to say. Because I've heard so many people talk about, if you want to do something like this, you got to put in the work. I understand that. Treat it like a job. I did that in college when I was putting in 2, 3, 4 hours a day editing. I did it, actually it started this year, when I said to myself, I'm going to stream every day. I turned into, I'll stream every day except one day. And I turned into, I'll stream, 3 or 4 days a week. And then it became 3 days, the time limit. Then it became 4 days with a time limit. And then it became 3 days with a time limit that's shorter or longer or whatever. Whatever I did. I want to make a video about those goals and where I'm at with those. But there's a whole video by itself, and it's a matter of like making it, and also editing is a big thing too. Like I'm already at 40. I just hit 43 minutes. It's probably not gonna be that long of a video at all. Especially when I cut out all my stuttering and my pauses and bumbling and all that. I guess I could upload it raw, but like I want to edit it. It's one of the things where it's like I'm used to editing it. I know people are not going to sit down to watch an hour-long video or however long I end up talking when it could be like 20, 30 minutes max. That's broken. Cool. I just seriously don't know what to do at all. Should I sell my tech stuff? I'm sure I'll get more later. But then that channel is already slow growing as it is. I've also thought about like rebranding a bit on YouTube, because I want to go back to YouTube, like I said, for everything. I don't know. I want to keep watching streams because they make me happy. But I also want to make content. Because as far-fetched as what I did is, I would love this to be my main job, my main source of income. It's very far for the future. I just almost see myself getting that lucky, but I mean, people have said that before that are, up there and famous. maybe it's just not the right time right now. Like, I've put in the effort in college and like earlier this year and last year, mostly. Everything's not gonna last forever. I know that those streamers are gonna stop streaming eventually. Sad as the time's gonna be. I'm sure there's some of you out there that are still watch my content. Maybe look forward to a new video whenever it drops. I appreciate that a lot. I thought maybe that while talking about this out loud, it would help me. It would help me think about it and think of a solution that kind of fits everything. Nope. If anything, it's made clearer that I'd rather just keep being happy and doing my own thing, watching streams and just streaming and making videos that I can. At least for now. I just don't see myself accepting any other solution. If you couldn't tell, I have huge football fear of missing out, and I guess in this context, it's a good thing. Like, people are made to seek happiness and pleasure and avoid pain. Not that making my own content is painful, but there's no direct, immediate happiness like I experience myself watching streams or interacting with other people. I know it's just a matter of time and putting in work that I know I can do because I've done it in the past. But I think that's where we're at. One reason I wanted to make this video especially is because personally, I'm not a fan of when content creators are inconsistent and don't let people know about it. Because it's gonna happen. You forget a stream or you miss an upload or something happens or whatever. But like at least if you can acknowledge it in a relatively short amount of time, it makes people understand how things are going, what to expect. And I wanted to make this video sooner. Also, I'm also glad I kind of waited till now to do it. That way I have a bit of time to think about everything and kind of process it myself. But yeah, I'm just gonna go with the obvious solution here. At some point, I'll do a test stream on YouTube just to see how it goes, because I know it's gonna be a different experience for sure. I'm sure I'll get used to it and learn it. For now, going forward, I'll probably do one more stream on Twitch just to let people know on there about this whole situation in general, and also moving over to YouTube. So after that, it'll be everything on YouTube, stream-wise, and videos when I can. Streams when I can. Again, just whenever I have the free time. If it's once a month, if it's twice a month, that's how it's going to be for now. I guess this is kind of my like valley in content creation. I think I mentioned it before as well, but another side effect of finding Hello Alive and being happy in that is that I wouldn't say I lost Alex, but we definitely grew apart more because of it. Because after, we hang out every day in person because of school, and you both graduate, okay, you're going to be spending less time together in general. We still hung out at his parents' house, or his dad's house mostly, or maybe my mom's house. Then he joined the military, I went off to college. Well, I went off to college, and I still hung out with him at his dad's house. Then he went off to college. Anyway, so again, that's when we started gaming with laptops and eventually desktops. But we kind of got tired of the same old games, Call of Duty, Overwatch. He wasn't a fan of Apex. I wasn't a fan of some of the games he suggested. We just kind of grew apart over time in general. Less and less games we wanted to play together. We tried new games. Didn't really work out. We kind of just spent more time talking and chilling, which is fine. We kind of needed a game to kind of take up the time of talking. with finding Hollow Live and watching streams, again, I spent more time doing that and less time gaming in general, which meant not only gaming less for myself, but also with him. And he found it annoying. I wouldn't say he wouldn't say he gave me the ultimatum of him or Hollow Live, but I was kind of picking up that energy, and I was like, it makes me happy, dude. Like, we hung out, we had our fun times together. If you can't deal with that, then I guess that's it. And I don't think we ended on a bad note, because I don't hope so. I would say I'm still his friend, or we're still friends. If he called or sent me a message tomorrow being like, hey, let's chat. Okay. We haven't talked since November. I thought I would have taken it harder than I did. And I think having Hollow Live there in that community really helped. Because at my low times before, I definitely found a little bit of comfort in knowing that he was a stable person in my life that would understand and I could talk to. So that's that story. Well, almost at an hour, so I guess I'll cut it here and save myself some trouble in editing. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. But again, one more stream on Twitch and then everything on YouTube, streams and videos when I can. Again, it could be once a month, it could be twice a month, it could be once every 2 months. Just whatever happens, it's going to happen. I'm sorry I can't be more consistent right now. I think I put a fair bit of effort in at the beginning of the year. I'd say the first solid maybe 3 or 4 months. And I still have years of content, stream and video wise, you can check out if you want. So yeah, if you're still watching this video or me in general, I appreciate it. Thank you, I really do. Catch you guys in the next one, whenever that is. Later.